If you so desire, you could call the next film the overlooked film of the week, The Reader from 2008. This must be the prestige romance of 2008, hot on the heels of the previous year's Atonement. Sidney Pollack, who directed Out of Africa, and Afni Mangela, who directed The English Patient, both Oscar Best Picture winners, are listed as producers, and the packaging said, softly with a distinct whisper, the director of The Reader has been nominated for 3 Best Director Academy Awards for Billy Elliot, The Hours, and The Reader. Kate Winslet disrobes once again in yet another period piece. I seem to remember her naked in Heavenly Creatures, Titanic, Hideous Kinky, Holy Smoke, Quills, and Iris, all set in the past. I may be short a nude scene. And Ralph Fiennes shows up as this unfortunate, poor, tortured soul with a horrible secret. And Fiennes may seem familiar to viewers who remember Schindler's List, The English Patient, The End of the Affair, and Sunshine. Amazingly, Fiennes once actually starred in a film set in the future. Now it's the past, but that's beside the point. Strange Days. In a review of the Keira Knightley, Michael Pitt Silk, I recommended watching it as panacea for insomnia. Dr. Walnut recommends The Reader as similar medication if your guilty conscience has soured on chronic masturbation. I have this seemingly insurmountable problem watching these period romances because I see through every narrative pretense and focus on the naked bodies, especially the female variety. This viewing prejudice / sexual orientation rears its head regardless of a film set in 1968 Paris like The Dreamers, where revolution and cinema and explicit film references and obligatory doors and hindrance, so we know it's not 1868, are obscured by the spectacle of Michael Pitt's cock and Eva Green's magnificent balloon-like heaving bosoms. Or a film like The Reader, set in good old sturdy, reliable post-World War II times, like The End of the Affair and Atonement and The Notebook. The Reader comes from a heavy-duty, best-selling novel of some importance that will experience a commercial resurgence thanks to a promotional tie-in with the film adaptation. Just like Atonement and The Notebook, The Reader hinges on a major secret that yours truly figured out awful fast, and thus sat in a state of suspended boredom, or suspended erection, except for whenever seeing Kate Winslet naked. The Reader is 2-star material. Let's accentuate the positive during the final review of this program with Ice Age: Dawn of the Dinosaurs. Believe it or not, this is the best of the 3 Ice Age films. I certainly did not expect it after the side tours into sitcom land taken by the second Ice Age, and the fact the first movie played like an animated prehistoric 3-man and a baby. The third installment continues the mawkishness of the first 2 films with borderline sitcom-level plot developments like a saber-toothed tiger questioning his saber-tooth, a sloth feeling all left out, and 2 mammoths expecting a baby mammoth. Fortunately, the sequel opens up the action, and the borderline sitcom-level plot developments are filler between some genuinely clever moments. I wanted Scrat the Squirrel to scram during the meltdown, and somehow his adventures to capture an acorn grow ever more complicated once a femme fatale squirrel enters Dawn of the Dinosaurs. These interludes never fail to be funny during Dawn of the Dinosaurs, and we finally understand how the acorn itself feels during a musical interlude scored by Gilbert O'Sullivan's Alone Again. Naturally, as the two lovebird squirrels have momentarily stopped fighting over the acorn to romance one another, and the acorn feels all left behind. Of course, like a sitcom, Dawn of the Dead Dawn of the Dinosaurs adds characters. First and foremost, we gain Buck the Weasel, voiced by Simon Pegg, who did such a good job in Star Trek as Scotty. And he's the old-school hunter and tour guide through an underground prehistoric world ruled by killer plants and killer dinos. I love the scene where Buck rescues Manny and Diego from the digestive system of a killer plant, choosing between red and blue, and a parallel scene for moments where a character must choose between cutting the red wire or cutting the blue wire of an explosive device, endangering many, many lives. Despite the fact that a dinosaur turns soft like one did in Land of the Lost, and the fact that we have many sitcom-level plot developments underfoot, I like Dawn of the Dinosaurs for its action and its humor. I give Dawn of the Dinosaurs 3 stars.